Welcome to episode 215 of the DORKLAIR Collecting Podcast, recorded on Thursday, August 22nd, 2024. The spotlight figure this week is going to be the Transformers Studio Series 86, Bumblebee. Here's Larry.
What's up, Larry?
Hello, all. Sorry I'm late. I'm moving really slow. We've got our contest in about 9 days, and I'm doing a good job just being upright. Yeah, man, I feel like total dog crap. So actually, I'd have to. Dog crap would be an improvement. I'm like runny kitty crap right now. So I had to drag myself out of the litter box.
Nice. With us today is customizer extraordinaire Curtis Ackerman. Welcome.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Always fun to be with you guys.
Nice.
Awesome to have you.
We got a good show going on. Like I said, we're going to run this podcast style, which is not really much different, but I do want to have the figure of the week, which is going to be Studio 86 Bumblebee. We got a bunch of news. We've got some Mezco news. We've got some ToddFunding news. We got some
in there always.
We got some creatures, some Sideshow Star Wars creatures, a new sort of subline or a return to like them making a lot of 6-scale creatures, and a lot of other stuff too. So welcome everybody. Curtis, recent pickups?
I don't have the one with me. I just got a Mafex Spider-Man Ben Reilly figure that I've been looking for a while. That's upstairs. I did bring this though with me. I found this at a local comic shop recently.
Nice.
McFarlane Superman statue. Nice. I was surprised. Like I picked it up. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. I picked it up and looked at the price. I was like, I wonder how much this is. It was $49. I was like, well, shoot, for $49, I'll definitely pick that up. So Jim Lee style. I'm hoping that they do the Batman version of the same, like the other way, so that I can put those on the same shelf. They have an older DC Direct Batman one, but it's like $500 and I'm not paying that. So. But that's really it. Just those two.
How about you, Larry?
Oh, goodness. Well, I wasn't even here last week. So rather than I had a humongous, like 2 days before you streamed last time. And obviously I couldn't make it on. I couldn't get home from work. We had some really bad weather in North Carolina that day. It was the hurricane was going on, but I'd just gotten a pile of loot the day before. Man, I got so much stuff. I got the mini comic Mondo Trap Jaw. I got Masterpiece Rhinox. I got the Studio Series Bumblebee we're going to talk about today. A bunch of Nightfall stuff. I got Mafex Nightfall, Mafex Batman, Mafex Nightfall Bane. Figure arts Aquaman. I got the Mafex Dark Knight Returns Batman on his horse. I got the McFarlane JLA Batman. I had a couple other things since then. I got the Legacy Animated Optimus Prime from Transformers. I got the Transformers 1 Optimus Prime. Picked up some Tiger Force stuff, picked up some other odds and ends. I got and this is something I didn't expect to like, so I'm going to mention this specifically. I usually don't like repaints, and I already had Bane and I already had the Nightfall Batman, but I picked up the Bane and Batman 2-pack, and these things are just fantastic. The paint on the Batman is wonderful. McFarlane is, I don't know if he switched entirely to wired capes now, but that one came with a wired cape. The little details they put on there for the comic book shading are just beautiful. I got the 80th anniversary Wolverine. If anyone hasn't gotten this and is wondering, it's definitely worth it. Pick it up. Thanks to our old podcast mate, Chris, got the Was Once a Man. And because I had to have one in each version, I did get logged on. I got one. I bought one. I was one of those a-holes who bought 5 to turn around and sell 4 on eBay. I bought one so I could have one in each version, and that's it. That's my limit. So these things are completely awesome. I've been waiting since I was 11 years old for this figure, so I'm really excited about that. The Gamer Edition Optimus Prime arrived today. Pretty cool, chunky figure. I haven't had a chance to transform him yet. And then doing the Watusi, the Adam West McFarlane Batman. And if you want an idea of how far McFarlane has come with the face sculpts, this thing looks just like Adam West in that mask. It's awesome. I wish they had done a Chase unmask. I think that would have been a lot of fun. But it's a really good looking figure. And then of course I've got the Studio Series Bumblebee we're going to go over today. But yeah, I mean, I got a lot of other stuff. That pile of loot, like I told you, Bill, that pile, I sent you the picture. Yeah. I think it was just monstrous. There was so much stuff in it. And my bonus, I'm getting my quarterly bonus tomorrow. So I've been holding off on picking up a couple of things. I'm going to pick up there's a toy colored, the Masterpiece 44 toy colored Optimus Prime I'm going to get. And I got to pick up Hoist. And then I'm going to just kind of sit. One of the rule I've made for myself is I'm only spending on my collection what I can sell on eBay. So I've listed a bunch of stuff there. I'm selling that little by little. And I've got so much stuff that's never going to be displayed again. So over the last couple of months, I've managed to pretty much break even. And yeah, it's been good. Oh, one other thing. I got the Mezco Casey Jones today. And like I was telling Bill, the only reason I bought that is because I missed the Mezco Snake Eyes, and I was hoping to find someone to trade that with. And Bill was able to secure a trade setup for me, so thank you for that. And yeah, that's it. At least all I'm going to bore you with.
Nice. So
real quick, I don't know if we talked about this, Larry, but did you order the Starscream from YOLO Park that they've got?
The one that just went up for pre-order?
Yeah.
It hasn't come yet. You know what else? I got one of the YOLO Parks came that I didn't have before. Megatron, I think, was the one I got first. So the YOLO Park Optimus Prime came also, and those things are completely awesome.
Yeah,
they really are. If you like model kits, if you don't like model kits, if you just want an action figure you can snap together in 3 minutes, because this isn't like the Flame Toys model kits and I've got a lot of those, it takes several hours to put together. These YOLO Park, it's like 5 minutes tops, and that's from opening to throwing the package out. And they're awesome.
Sorry, Bill.
No problem. So I've decided I'm going to start collecting G.I. Joe Classified for free. So I've got 2 recent pickups. So Stalker came in, and this was something I won on the Purple Gang Gang show. So I watched them 2 weeks ago, and they spun the wheel. And I think it was my first time winning a StreamYard giveaway. So that was really fun to see my name pop up in that. And this figure's kick ass. This is an awesome figure. It's so good. It's simple, but it's just so well done. And then the following week I was a guest on their show, and they gave away a Major Blood, and the winner of it donated it to me. He kind of paid it back forward to me, because I was like, I don't have Major Blood yet. And he just gave it to me. And so that was awesome too. So a huge shout out to Van and Jordan. And I forget who it was who gave that, but actually I have it right here.
When that thing came out, it was a chore to find because it was a Cobra Island Target Andy exclusive, Cox. And it was going on eBay for hundreds of dollars when it first came out.
Yeah, Andy the Collector. That's who it was, Andy Cox.
Nice.
This figure's great. This is an awesome figure. It's really good. So I'm gonna collect for free from now on. I'm just gonna win stuff. That's how I'm gonna do it. Like
I like
things that I specifically want. Because it's funny, because Stalker was one that was like $12, and I was gonna buy it, and I just had been putting it off, and I hadn't bought it yet. And then I won it, and then Major Blood I needed, so then that one I won. So we'll see.
What I need to do then is let you know what all doubles I have that I'm gonna be selling. And see if you've got something we can trade, because I've got a lot of the stuff I've got multiple Snake Eyes. I've got lots of them. And all of these that are coming out on the retro card backs, I like better than the originals. So I'll be probably getting rid of anything that's out on retro card back. I'll probably be getting rid of the original one that came out.
Cool.
I think I'm going to be getting out of classifieds. I think probably take like 95% of what I have and just throw it in a box and put a mystery question mark on it and sell it at Legion's Con. So
there you go. Nice.
Yeah.
This is funny. Steph says Andy's Candies, referencing Andy, who gave me the figure. It's funny because when I was a kid, like I've never really been a huge chocolate and mint fan, but when I was a kid, every single year at Christmas, my dad would give my sister and I each a box of Andy's candies, and that was like the only time I ever ate. And would I still don't really but if I had an Andy's candy, I would totally eat it. So just a funny little thing there, Andy's candies. Okay, so then I also got some Glyos. So the most recent one was a Toyfinity, and I'm actually going to show this because those are still available. So I'm going to start including Glyos in the news a little bit more.
Ooh,
but
nice.
the Manglores line, they did 2 new ones. This one I've already kind of like part swapped and stuff.
Oh,
But
cool.
They did a clear red. This is the Bloodstone colorway, and then this is the Spectre colorway that glows in the dark, which I actually have a Goss armor in the same colorway, so I can totally like just pop in. Like every single joint is the same peg, so I can pop everything I can switch on these things. So those are my recent pickups there. Let's get into the chat here a little bit. Let's scroll back to the top and see who's here. Van Johnson was the first to comment. So what's up, Van, V-Dog, TJ, Thomas, Blake, Rob, Jeff Evans, Sath, Amateur Hour, Keith Holven, Cloud Foxwell, David Williams. Jordan is also here. Sean, Jeremy Govier, Santos Rivera, Mark R. Let's see who else is here. Steph, Caleb, Slink, Ben G, Furious Figures. That's Everett. Jesse's here. Dave Orkin is also here. Hank and Ravenous Collecting, Edgardo, Lewis, KJ, Collecting Brothers, Jay Kadem, and I think that's everybody. Let's see. And Joe Gonsalves with the 10 gift membership. Thank you so much, and enjoy those memberships. And yeah, there's Furious with the Everett is like my chat buddy for Glyos stuff. We're always chatting Glyos. He's always sending me the news and the drops and stuff, and we got some stuff to talk about today. And then Steph says, Toyfinity box 4, the old man, and I'm sad it's not my box. So Dave's came, but not yours. Is that what happened? You didn't grab any Morales? I don't know what that is.
Miles Morales.
Miles Morales.
Miles Morales. I don't know if that's referring to. Yep, I got this one on the news, so we'll get to that. All right. Okay. So we're gonna go through some toy news stuff, and then we will talk about this Transformer, which is an amazing figure, and I can't wait to talk about it. I've transformed it like back and forth like 4 times.
Isn't it fun? It really is.
Okay. All right. So starting off as always with Four Horsemen Legions news. There's not really much new. We do have a new packaging reveal. So we have the Ukzak figure, and we got the packaging. People are pointing out the dragon has 4 legs. The top there. But pretty cool. It's,
George Martin wouldn't care for that very much.
No, he did you read his blog post recently?
Oh, yeah. You know what? He needs to spend less time worrying about that kind of stuff and more time worrying about finishing those books before he either dies or before type 2 diabetes takes hold.
Yeah. Yeah, and then so we've got I think they said that this might be the first look at the city where Etheros, or whatever the city is called. So that's pretty cool. And then the other thing here. So these are soon. Like by the end of the year, this massive wave is going to hit. And for everybody saying that the Skeleton Legion Builder 2 is like the figure of the year, there's a whole wave of that stuff coming. So, then the other thing was the Legions Con schedule and maps. So there's two different sort of main rooms. I'm not going to really like talk too much about this, but we do have like you can go to the Legions Con site and see it. A lot of the other podcasts and shows have already talked about it, but it's cool to kind of like see the layout and start to, it's only 11 weeks away now, I guess. And so it's like, you start to think about your plan and like, how you're going to approach things. They've got it a little differently. They're not in this room now. Like they were up atop up across the top there on the left side. Like that top row was the Horsemen last year. So now they're in this room. So at the bottom there is like the store. And then you can go from the store into this other kind of like, vendor room that's like mostly Four Horsemen related people. Like D13 is there. I think Nate's table is there and so on. And then there's the Glyos area on the right-hand side. When I first saw this, I was like, oh no, where's the Glyos? It was like that whole row in the bottom right. I was like, oh my God, where'd they go? And then they showed this, and it was like, okay, so
Bill was having withdrawal symptoms.
He's gonna have a fit here.
Well, when they were talking about the other room here, they were like, they didn't really show this yet, and they were talking about this room, but they were saying like the other room is going to be like all Four Horsemen stuff, like all like the other room is all Four Horsemen, and I was like, oh shit, where's Glyos going to go then? But yeah, so the mini Glyos Con is going to still be there. And yeah, so you can kind of like go explore all that. We're not going to really dive into it. I don't know if you have any quick comments on that, Curtis.
It's going to be fun. Hope Larry comes to join us.
Yeah, Larry.
Well, we'll see how that works with my vacation time, because we've got we're taking a week around the contest because that's so spread out, and then then our anniversary is on October 1st, and we're taking a week for that. So just got to see how things shake out between that and work.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right.
Sucks being a responsible adult.
Oh, KJ was asking about the mortals. I didn't grab any of the mortals. No. No, I did get. Is this a mortal? Hold on. Is this one of those? Because they did just slide that into my package. Like that was added. This is tiny. This is this big. I don't know if that's one of them. I'm not sure if that's one of those. I'm still kind of like, every time there's a Glyos drop, there's still some new stuff that I've never seen before. There's still like things that I'm not like totally familiar with. But here we go.
Oh.
Honeymoon at Legions Con. There you go, Blake.
Yeah.
New Jersey. Okay. So this was the one that I just showed. I picked up the Manglore. It's currently available on the Toyfinity website. So I wanted to share some of the more recent drops because these are still available. Not everything in the O'Neill drop is still there, but there's still quite a few things. But yeah, so that's one of the Toyfinity ones, the Manglores. And this is like a remake of that toy from the 80s where it was made out of like a gummy kind of a substance, and you would like rip the arm off and it would stick back on. It was like those gummy Manglores. And then they also had, so that was the Spectre colorway. They just had that one figure in the Spectre. And then they had the Bloodstone colorway, and they had a few different things there. And I didn't see the Soldier. I totally misspelled Soldier, but I didn't see the Soldier, the Darkness Soldier there when I first went on. So I ended up missing that because I didn't want to make another order just for one figure. But
he
I did
messed
pick up that
himself.
red
He's
one.
the Soilder.
Soilder, yeah.
Yeah.
It depends on how frightened he is.
And then this was the colorway that I jumped in on for the O'Neill drop. I did pick up some in this colorway. This is the only one left in this colorway, the Cray Hunter. But but there were some other cool ones, and I got a few there. But they do also have a couple of the other ones, the Intruder and the Traveler in the Neo Nebula. So that's Onel. And those are still, not everything's still there, but like a good amount of stuff is still up on that site, on that drop. That's, I think, wave 102 for Onel. And then finally, this one was, somebody was mentioning this earlier, I think KJ maybe. So this is the Spaced Out Design Company, and they've got a completely brand new figure, I guess, that's dropping tomorrow, called the Vulgarian. So we'll see what that looks like tomorrow. Sort of like they're teasing it as somewhat like vegetation, like tree people type thing or something.
That's cool.
Yeah. So I want to try to like include. I've been buying a lot of Glyos, and I've been trying to, spread the word a little bit more because not a lot of people know about it.
They're cool little figures. They're fun.
Yeah, I love them, and it's like a totally different thing. It's like you keep buying the same thing over and over again, but it's fun because of all. It's like Legions. It's like because of all the pop and swap ability. Like
the
having
possibilities
all of these
are really
matching
endless.
colors across these different figures it's fun because like one company will put out, this thing which was months ago, and then the same colorway comes out in this, and then I can start mixing and matching them in that color. But anyway, speaking of smaller figures, we got the continuation of Joy Toys 1/18th scale TMNT line. Now these are over 4 inches. So the turtles themselves were clocking in at like 4.1 or 4.2 inches.
Those are going to have to be close to 5 then.
These are 4.5 plus. They're over 4.5 inches. So, when we say like these aren't like Star Wars vintage collection size. These are like 1/18th plus. Like they're not 3 3/4. But yeah, so we've got Rocksteady and Bebop. So Rocksteady here. These ones are 40 to 50, depending on where you go to get them. 50 on Big Bad.
Is that the same company that's making the 1/18th G.I. Joes?
No, that's Hiya Toys.
Hiya Toys, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
These guys do all those Warhammer figures.
Got it. Okay.
And then they have a bunch of other stuff too.
The big mechs and stuff.
Yeah.
But I think generally it's like I think it's all 1/18th scale or smaller scale stuff than that. So there's nothing, they don't make any like 6-inch figures, or at least they haven't yet. But yeah, so a couple looks there. He's got the boombox. It's also a rocket launcher, which is pretty wild.
That's pretty cool.
And the shield, the like manhole cover shield, and then Bebop. He's got some guitar. He's got a double guitar. Yeah. So those are $40 to $50. These are, they're pretty pricey for 4 to 5 inch figures, 4.5 inch figures. But if you've ever seen their stuff, like I've seen Chris, I've seen his collection of the Warhammer stuff, and it's gorgeous. Like those figures are some of the most beautifully painted, I don't know, factory figures I've ever seen. They're incredible.
Yeah, they look really detailed in this thing that comes with a lot of plastic.
Yeah. It's going to be a chunky figure, but yeah, still it's $40 to $50. That's a pricey figure. I did order the turtles. I don't know if I'm going to get these ones. Maybe if the turtles come in and I'm blown away, I might get them, but I don't know if I'm going to collect this line. I have been looking for an excuse to collect some Joy toy stuff. Like I want to like sample that line a little bit, but I don't know if this will be it. We'll see.
I see Jordan was asking if those are licensed turtles, and I would say that they probably have to be if it's saying TMNT and it's saying
it's got the
issues and Bebop and
they're licensed.
Yeah.
Well, there must be a market for that kind of thing because that Hiya toy, those G.I. Joes seem to be doing really well at that scale, and that that $40, $50, $60 price point.
I honestly could see 1/18th making a little bit of a comeback in this era of no one having any space whatsoever. Like I could totally see people like, all right, let me restart my turtle collection, kind of
I
sell
could
off
definitely
like
see
these big
that.
ones, and then start like Larry, you've talked about it with like the new age stuff. It's like like I can collect these because they're smaller, you know?
Yeah, and I will. That's one of those things that I can say to Steph. Hey, here are like 10 that I want. Pick one, and it's not like something where I have everything.
Yeah.
You know, and the only other toy lines coming out of this scale is the Star Wars Vintage Collection, and quite frankly, how many more versions of C-3PO or Darth Vader does a person need? You know, and Steam's definitely running out on that one.
Yeah, and it's like they're just releasing more Mando. It's like Mando. There's not a lot coming
No,
out that seems interesting. Like this sideshow thing that we're going to talk about. I don't even know if I'm going to buy them, but it's got me excited because it's like someone's making creatures again. They're making the weirdos, you know,
yeah,
like it's so Wesley says Nerdzoic had them up. BBTS has these two new ones, but I don't think they had the turtles. And then I can't remember if Entertainment had them either. But yeah, it's funny that Big Bad has the Rocksteady and Bebop, but they didn't have the turtles, I guess. Okay, so let's see here. Okay, so and then I wanted to share this. So Robo got the early scoop on the like these are like the full production. I think I'm guessing they airmailed a bunch over and gave some to Robo, and then the rest are on the ocean or whatever. But these are the Monster Force figures from Fresh Monkey Fiction, and I wanted to share some photos because I think they came out pretty good. Like he has a review up where he goes through. I think there's 8 or so in this first wave. He shows all of them. You know, and one cool thing is he kind of talked about how there's 3 different bodies. There's this like officer body right here. It's like a trooper, but it's like an officer, right? And this is one of the these are the bad guys here.
Oh, they're very non-SS.
Yeah. But that like so you have these 3, right? So like what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get one of each body. I think I'm gonna get the black one of this. I originally thought the red one, but I don't love the wash on it. It just seems kind of like messy. But I think I'm gonna get the black one of this. And then there's this body. This is like the I guess the good quote unquote good guy troopers where they turn soldiers into temporary vampires because they're trying to fight this bad guy where if you're a living human, he just converts you over to a zombie or whatever. So he has to recruit vampires essentially. And so these are like, you know, these are your G.I. Joe style trooper bodies. You know, these are going to probably be similar to like Valaverse bodies, right? And then the leader, so this is Van Helsing. This is like the ancestor, or no, the descendant. Right, of like Van Helsing. And so on the right, that's the main character there. So you got like those 2 and then Van Helsing. So that's those 3 on that body. And then there's these 2 on this, you know, aristocratic type body or whatever. So you have Dracula, who's the main vampire that he summons up to fight against. I forget the name of this other guy. But he's the big bad. Like he's like this ancient Egyptian, long forgotten pharaoh who's come back from the dead to wreak havoc and take over the world or whatever. But yeah, so I think I'm gonna get Dracula. I think I'm gonna get the camouflaged one of these guys, and I'm gonna get the like officer in black. Just to try it out and see if I want to collect this line a little bit. Are you guys gonna be getting into these?
I like them, but that might be a rabbit hole I'm going to avoid. Like I said, I mean, dude, I've got so much crap at this point. It's really starting to overwhelm me. The reason I logged on late is I went into the collection room to grab Bumblebee, and I happened to look. I was reminded of how far Mafex has come because I looked at my Batman shelf the wrong way, and that original BVS Armored Batman fell.
Yeah.
And when that happened, he brought Nightmare Batman with him, and then he brought regular Batman with him. And that, I was like, oh my Lord. So, I mean, it's just like if I take a breath at the wrong spot in that room, something falls down. So I've got to get myself under control.
Yeah.
But I love the way they look. They're gorgeous. I mean, they look like they stepped it looks like the Hellfire Club and and Classic Monsters had a baby, and it's beautiful. I love those.
Yeah. Like, I think I want to get at least like the classic monsters, like get Dracula. I know they have an Invisible Man, they have a Caligari, like a couple others. You know, I think they may have a Wolfman or a werewolf type character in there too. I think
I love those classic monsters, and like I'm fighting the urge to collect the NECA stuff. I was in Target a little while ago and found a Captain Spaulding, and I was like, ooh, I can get a Spaulding, and I get a Freddy, and I get a Jason, I get a Michael Myers. You know, one for me. Dude, it's too much. I gotta quit. I gotta stop.
If they did like a Monster Squad set, I would be all in. But I don't.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, I mean, who could resist buying a Wolfman with Nards, right?
That's correct. But yeah, I don't. These look cool, but I just don't have room for another line right now. So
yeah. And for those wondering, he does show them with Classified and with Marvel Legends, and you can get a good sense. They're right in that size, so they're right in there with those other lines. And I didn't want to screenshot everything to like steal any thunder from his video, so go check out his really good, really thorough review of this brand new line, independent line. Right? This is Fresh Monkey Fiction. They make those Santa figures. They do a whole bunch of 3 3/4 Eagle Force figures. So, and Chris from Four Horsemen does a lot of their, I think maybe even all of their factory management. All right. Okay. So then next up, we got some updates from Brutal Realm. And speaking of Big Bad Toy Store, they said they got the numbers, and like they're blown away by the numbers. They said, you heard it here first. BBTS numbers are epic. Essentially, we're going to be funded with just a little bit more. There's nothing to worry about now. As soon as they post it, I'll share. Just know they will be phenomenal. And thank you so much for believing in us. So it sounds like they are super confident now, like that this is going to fund. So
that's a line that I would really love to get into. But again, dude, I've got 500 He-Man figures in boxes. I can't do it.
I did have to pull the trigger on some of these, and I love this new one that they showed today.
Kelly,
that one on the previous. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say the one on the previous screen. It looked like I don't remember the Masters of the Universe Giants. That looks like Titus, and they finally made that figure as a regular figure. It looks so good. They look so good.
Yeah. So this was Killian the Red that they revealed as like unlocked right now. Like, so they've been unlocking some of the ones that are going to be like stretch goals. They've just been unlocking them because they're not a lot of additional tooling. They're on that same basic body and then just different heads and maybe some weapons and accessories and stuff. But so there's this guy that they unlocked, I think yesterday or today. And then this one they unlocked, which we talked about when they were on, but it wasn't unlocked yet. And they didn't have this render, I don't think, when we were first looking at it, but
no, that's newer.
Sort of Native American guy.
Chief Motto.
Chief Motto. There you go. And they also, this wasn't there so they were on last week for anybody who didn't catch it last time or 2 weeks ago. And this was one of the renders that they hadn't had ready yet. And so that's their Crow Man figure. And
yeah, Crom Man.
It's kind of a cool story about like these enchanters like tattooed him with this like spirit, and it's like a spirit that's inside him now or something like that. And the creator, I forget which one, he was saying like he loves crows, like crows are his favorite thing. And so that's how he kind of like worked crows into the lore of the Brutal Realm stuff.
That's a good looking figure, man. I mean, all of these, they're so impressive. I love the proportions. I love the scale. I love the detail. Like there's nothing I don't like about these things other than the fact that they take up physical space.
Yeah.
The only part that kind of irritates me a little bit is that thigh cut is just a little awkward where it's at. Like if you turn that, I'm thinking that's going to look kind of weird, but I definitely back to this. I love this figure, the Chief and the Killian that they just showed. So
did they show the hips? I'm trying to remember. Was it a ball joint or is that a hinge and swivel? Because if it's a ball joint, it's probably, you might not even really.
You might not even need. Yeah, that's what I was. Yeah. That's what I was thinking.
Question came up. Did we talk about Spawn yet? No, we haven't. We're going to talk about that now. I only put up the one screen because I thought it'd just be easier to pull up the Kickstarter. So, what are you guys thinking about this Spawn?
If anyone is thinking about this, I would do it because the last time he did a Kickstarter, even if you get it and decide you don't want it, you're going to be able to sell it for 3 or 4 times what you paid for it. That's all I'm going to say. Like I love the way they look, and this is one I would love to get I'm giving serious consideration to seeing what I need to do to get I've got to look into the whole Kickstarter to see if you got to buy all 3, but I love the grayscale. You know, Bill, I've talked to you about how one of my favorite things is when they release the first preview of figure and it's in grayscale and you can really see all the details before they do paint apps. So, you know, if there's a way to get that, I'm probably going to get that one. Even if I have to buy the whole set, then I'll sell the other 2. But I think they're gorgeous. I think they're absolutely beautiful. And I regret not getting in on the first one that he did several years ago. Well, Wholesome Warlock 3 or 4 times. I mean, that's the original one that he did. When it dropped and everybody wanted it and nobody could get it, it was going up for, I mean, significantly more, at least 2 or 3 times what the initial list was. I think it came back
down eventually.
It did eventually, yeah, but it's
first if you
you just got to pull the trigger on it fast when people's FOMO is high.
So, all right, so here's the Kickstarter. First of all, it's $100,000 goal, and it's at $1.4 million, which is just bonkers.
Like there was never any doubt that it was going to go through.
Anything he does is going to sell. I think, Curtis, you were in this chat, and it's like, why does he need to do? Like, why would he need to do? He doesn't need to do a Kickstarter. He's doing it because, like, I don't think there's ever a doubt that it would get funded. I think it's more a publicity stunt, is what this is at this point.
It's got to be because I mean he's paying a portion of this to Kickstarter that he doesn't need to. He could definitely just do it on his own site. Yeah, it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But
I do think that when people see this and they see a window that's going to close and they see this number going up in this like moment, like I do think more, I think more sell because of this. I think he sells far more than he ever would have sold when he does something like this, which is essentially a stunt, right?
Yeah. I could see that.
FOMO, just like I said, the same reason when they finally do drop, people are going to have regret. Oh, I got to grab them. And if you don't want them, you'll be able to get rid of them and make money.
It's pretty straightforward. There's just those 3 figures. So there's the blue medieval spawn, and then there's the black medieval spawn, and then there's the prototype, unpainted medieval spawn. And those are the 3. And then there's a bunch of accessories that are getting unlocked with all this like stretch goals or whatever. They're $58 each, but the catch is they're $25 shipping each. And like that's like a substantial chunk of money. Like, so that you're talking about 58. So let's just say 60. So you're talking about $83. Right.
So he's recouping the money he has to pay to Kickstarter. That's what that is.
Probably, yeah.
What it looks like, yeah.
Apparently, too, like when you add 2 to your cart, the shipping is $50, and then when you add 3, it's $75. I'm not sure.
Sucks.
I'm not sure how it worked out if you bought the 3-pack, because there is a 3-pack. But
I mean, if you just take the dollar amount that's back so far and just divide it by the 58, that tells you there's like 24,000 of these that are already sold with this.
that's crazy.
That's way more than if he had just taken this figure and put it out in stores. So
Yeah.
Right.
At least I'd have to imagine, because I mean, I see Spawn stuff sitting on pegs warming all the time. So
That's a cool helmet right there, the Spartan look.
Yeah, it's a good look.
It's a cool figure. If it were like 58 shipped, I probably wouldn't even have hesitated, but I don't know if I'm going to get it at that price. If, however, Billy Beige gets his wish and which I highly doubt they will, but if they include a swap out cloth cape, like a crazy elaborate wired swap out, like Max Bird,
like the one that came with the Batman year 2. I don't think that was wired, but something wild like that.
Yeah, like that, I think would, because that was one of the things I was excited about that first one, and I got it, and I ended up selling it because I didn't like the cape. It was one of those toys that it's funny because I'll let a figure sit on a shelf forever and not touch it, but just like knowing it's a figure that I would like mess around with and play around with, like I don't know, I guess if it's like that initial, if I have fun playing with it that initial time, I'm more likely to keep it. But yeah, if they do the cloth cape, I probably would, but I highly doubt they will. And then these are all the various accessory bonus stuff that's going to be added.
That's been half the fun of playing with this Bane Batman 2-pack, is posing Batman and playing with that wired cape, man. I love the wired capes. You can do so much with them.
Right, but like, so here's the thing, Jay. A cloth cape would screw up the look if you have it displayed with the other spawns. I'm not saying give it a cloth cape only. I'm saying make it so that you could swap out between the plastic cape and the cloth cape, and then give people the choice of what they want to.
Yeah, so if you want to pose it a certain way and take a picture or something, you're not locked into that one cape look.
Right.
That's solid.
Yeah, I don't know. There's just something fun about a cloth cape posing it up and stuff. I will say though, the cape on this one does not look as crazy, like intrusive and just like space consuming.
Well, if I remember from the comic, the medieval Spawn's cape wasn't quite. I mean, I'm sure if I remember the lore correctly, the whole costume's still alive and all that, but it was a little, that cape was a little more subdued than regular Spawn was.
Right. He doesn't do cloth capes on Mythic Legion's level. Well, when you have a $1.4 million Kickstarter, you never know what could happen.
Yeah.
I mean, some of his the DC ones that he's been doing lately are pretty dang good. I mean, I wouldn't say they're quite Mythic Legion, but they're not bad.
Yeah. I'm looking at 2 of them right now. They look great.
So yeah, I'm probably not gonna get this. When I think of like $83, I'm like, what would I rather? There are things I would rather spend $83 on. But it looks cool, and it's pretty impressive. The number that they're at with their funding is pretty wild. All right, so let's go back to this. Okay, what's next on the list? Oh, Mezco, Nightwing. $95. 4,000 hands.
That's crazy.
Is that 5 heads or 4 heads? Is that
5?
I think 5 heads.
Yeah.
Pretty wild. I mean, that's a lot. Loaded figure, at least in terms of like swap out options, and then you've got a whole bunch of different weapons and stuff here and effects. So
yeah, pretty much any position Nightwing has been in the comic, you can get this thing into.
Okay,
it's crazy.
Jay is saying it's 4. That's what I was wondering. So this the head on the left is maybe the same one as on
the one on the figure looked a little bit more grimacy, but yeah.
Maybe
someone can look it up. I'm sure
it does say 4 though.
Yeah,
it does say 4. Okay. Landed, they didn't give him an angry head. Okay. Any other thoughts on Nightwing? $95. That seems about like their usual price now.
Yeah, that's about standard. It looks great, but I'm just sticking to my Batman only on that.
Yeah, man, I've got the Mafex one, and it's so good. So this looks nice, but I'll just stick with my Mafex.
I think if I had the Robin, I might be tempted. Just kind of like get this little setup going, but I don't even have a Robin yet. So
I wish the scale was a little bit smaller, because I would love to mix these between Mafex and Mezco. Like, I'd love to have that Robin with, some of my Mafex stuff, but it's just too tall. So,
well, they don't want the
besides the Dark Knight Returns.
What's that?
Has Mafex done a Robin besides Dark Knight Returns?
I don't think so.
Knowledge.
Wow, that's something that's due.
Yeah.
So Mezco Nightwing, and then we have some Age of Apocalypse Mafex figures. Speaking of Mafex, Cyclops here. I got a whole bunch of pictures. Go ahead and talk while I'm flipping through.
I've seen a lot of the Mafex preview stuff, and they seem to really be, they're doing a lot of the Age of Apocalypse stuff. They're revisiting. They're doing some reissues of Dark Knight Returns stuff. They're doing some more from Hush. There's going to be a Ra's al Ghul and a Clark Kent and a Bruce Wayne and a Batman with a different color scheme from the duel with Ra's, however you're supposed to say it. So Mafex has so much good looking stuff coming out.
They're still doing some stuff with Superman Returns and the Death of Superman. They showed a Doomsday, not painted yet, but it was.
They've done what? Steel and Cyborg and Superboy.
And then Superboy is supposed to be later this year, and so is Eradicator.
But they've not done a standard Superman, and that's the one I'm waiting for. I'll buy the standard.
They did
Superman.
the black suit Superman, but not the.
I want the regular. Give me Superman with a mullet after he comes back to life.
That's what I took. I got the Hush Superman, and then took the black suit Superman's head and put it on it, so I can get a mullet Superman.
Yeah.
Oh, they just showed a Hush Robin prototype. I guess that's San Diego.
Yeah, that was. I remember that now. That was the same one. And they're showing more and more Marvel stuff. Mafex is really, I may start picking up more Mafex because SH Figure Arts is doing pretty much nothing. Like, the only thing they put out recently that I pre-ordered are Wolverine and Deadpool. So I may start picking up more Mafex because they just hit home runs every time I grab one.
Yeah, I don't need the Age of Apocalypse stuff, but
no.
I picked up I think the most recent Marvel one I got was the Rogue that they did. I mean, it's not in hand yet, but I pre-ordered that one. I don't think I need these. They're cool though. I like them a lot.
And then Wolverine.
Just never liked that design. If he had two hands, it would have worked for me. I don't know what it is about the nub that I don't care for.
I like that the claws can still come out of the nub, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And then not going to linger on this too long. I just put the one photo there because this is finally up for, not finally, but it's
I think it closes tomorrow, right?
Yeah, it's been up for a little while, so just thought I would share that. It's a pretty loaded figure. We're going to see, like, this price is not going to look too bad when we see a couple figures next.
Yeah.
So the Lion-O, the first one in their Thundercats line.
I'm still arm wrestling with myself. If I get that, I'm going to have to get Mum Run. Then I'll have to stop myself from getting anything else. But I love the way that looks. And the fact you can take the armor off and make it look like the classic Lion-O, that's what's making it tough for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, I think if you're a huge Thundercat fan, this is a must. I think I'll stick to the Masters ones for right now. So, but this is so good. I mean, just the textured fur on it, all the different options with this, the different heads. It's really good.
Well, the last two Mondos I've gotten, Beastman and the Comic Trap Jaw, have just been absolutely incredible. top to bottom. I mean, top to bottom. And I pre-ordered Scare Glow. Didn't get Scare Mare. That's, again, too much real estate. But Mondo are just, they're doing a great job. I like their stuff.
Cool. So that's 250. And if you're going to get it, I guess it ends tomorrow. So just
tomorrow,
be aware of that. Okay. Then this was kind of cool. So, and again, I'm on the fence because these are ridiculously expensive. But Sideshow's coming back to the Creature Cantina, Jabba's Palace, aliens and creatures and stuff. I'm a huge Greedo fan, so like that's like the main one. Like I want Greedo, and that one's up for pre-order now. So I'm kind of like wrestling with myself back and forth on that one. But it's cool. It's cool to see that someone's gonna do some OT creatures. You know, it's nice to see that instead of another.
Look at all those on the back row in the shadows.
Oh, I'm gonna go through those.
Weak way, Tessic. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. We're gonna go through those right now. So the front row is Cantina, so that's New Hope Cantina, and the back row seems to be Jabba's Palace / skiff stuff. So,
Tessic.
so there we have Tessic, the Quarren, right?
Yeah.
And then the next one, guesses on the next one?
I think it's the Leia where she's got the helmet on.
I think somebody pointed this out that it is this.
Oh, it could be Woof. Or is that Nikto? I can't keep it
this
straight.
Is Woof. Well, Nikto, I think is his race, but
okay. Because in the original line, it was Nikto, Barada, Klaatu.
I thought it kind of looked like when Leia comes in with the bounty hunter.
It could go either way, though.
I think it's this though, because when you
think it is because
the line
she's
is called
a human.
Scum and Villainy.
Exactly, she's a human, so that wouldn't work.
Why would they have Leia be? The next one seems to be the weak way.
That's one of the weak ways.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's that one or if it's the one that has the blue shirt with the thing, because the one with the blue shirt, his shoulder pauldron is a little higher and sharper, like that shadow.
Oh, right. Yeah, that might be. Yeah. And then Bib
Fortuna.
That's the easiest one.
Yeah. No, well, I think this was even easier.
Well, the Quarren was really easy. Yeah. Who we got next?
And then next up, I'm trying to remember who it was. Oh, so the
Barada.
Yeah. I think this is now somebody had pointed. I don't think I ever would have guessed this because it's so generic humanoid shape. Like it's really hard to tell. But somebody in the 1-6 groups was saying it looks like that. So I'm kind of going with that. And I feel like I kind of agree because it fits with the selection, it kind of seems right.
I think my guess for that last one would be Han Solo. And I know it's, but he was kind of, a Scum. So
if he was on the front row, I'd say Han. By this time, he was a hero.
Right. In the back row, Han and then all Jabba's Palace guys, it just seems a little
not buying it.
And then I forget what this guy's name is, but somebody had pointed him out. Forget what race he is.
I don't even recall seeing that guy.
And then this one,
he was on the barge.
And he was a figure. He was like a Kenner figure.
He's in the vintage collection as well.
Yeah. And then this last one, in that group, nobody was able to figure it out. But then I realized when it was somebody had enhanced the photo, and just washed it all out. And you can see here what it is. So if you look at the shape of the pattern on his shirt, you can kind of figure out who it is. And it's this guy.
Yeah.
It's the other Nikto.
The other Nikto.
Which I forget what his name is too. But yeah. So those are those. And Greedo is 285, which is bonkers.
Crazy.
A Hot Toys figure. If this was a Hot Toys figure, which Hot Toys quality is far surpasses Sideshow stuff. If this was a Hot Toys figure, I'd be like, Okay, that's a lot, but that's kind of what Hot Toys are now. Like they're kind of in that range now, so I'll buy it because it's Greedo. But a Sideshow figure, we know the bodies aren't very great. Like that is, I thought they were going to be like 200, 180, like 130 or something like that. Not 130, 230, like somewhere in that lower 200 range or maybe high ones. But it's pretty crazy that they're charging 285 for this.
Greedo's pretty well known, but some of these are deep cuts. For if somebody's paying 285 for these other ones,
yeah, well, I think
you got to be a huge fan.
They may have some different prices because
Gotcha.
the other one that's up is Ponda Baba, Walrus Man, and like that's $10 less. So we'll get to that in a second. But yeah, I'm severely on the fence. My usual like 6-scale guy, Underground Figures, has it for like 265, and I'm like, is that enough to get me to buy it? Like I'm trying to decide if I want to pre-order this. I'm sure I have plenty of time. So, but I know, like I think I might just wait and see if Hot Toys does. They're not gonna do like more than 2 of these characters, but like I could see Hot Toys doing Greedo. Like of all the characters. You know, I mean, he has speaking lines, you know. The exclusive version, which is also 285, comes with a cup of blue milk. Or a hand sculpted with the cup of blue milk. But I mean, it's not extra cost. It's just you got to order it direct from Sideshow. But even that, like that's not like I don't think that's enough for me to not order from Underground. But yeah, so there's these, and then Ponda Bob is 275. Why it's 10 less? Maybe again, maybe it's just like character selection or
less
something.
Accessories or something.
Maybe. I mean, Greedo comes with his pistol. I mean, maybe the belt. Maybe the belt is like a. Oh, he's got a belt too, right?
Yeah. And fully soft goods. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Still, that's man. I mean, these take
So
up a
much
lot
money.
of space, and like I said, some of these are some deep cuts. So unless you've got huge amount of room for this 1/6 scale stuff and an unlimited budget, I don't know who's getting these. It's not me.
But yeah, it's 6-scale collectors who have for a long time like missed out on the old Sideshow ones that are like I think the old Sideshow Greedo is probably like $500-600 in the aftermarket. So it's like people who want that stuff want this. I would never collect all these again because it's 6-scale and it's just too many figures. But I've been wanting a 6-scale Greedo for a while, so I'm on the fence.
I
love Garandon
there
too.
that these are way too clean. These guys would be way dirtier.
Yeah,
so.
that's true. Greedo,
Steven, yeah.
Even if it's like kind of screen accurate, I feel like I kind of want a little grime on there, a little scum, if you will.
Just a little bit, a little scum to go with the villainy.
A little scum. Yeah. So there's that, and I don't like you either.
That's an ugly man.
Yes, they're like ridiculous cameo in Rogue One. It's so goofy.
Everything about Rogue One was wonderful. Love that movie. It's the only good thing other than the first 2 seasons of Mandalorian and the Andor series that Disney has done.
So I guess the Sideshow belts always flake.
So just imagine how much it would be if Hot Toys made it. It's increasing cost of everything. I mean, when something this size costs $25, what are you going to do?
I think. Oh, by the way, his exclusive are the like cupped hands, like those cupped creature hands, and it's really funny the way the pistol is just like in there.
How does he pull the trigger?
Yeah, I know. So funny, the flipper hands. Yeah, flipper hands. He does. So that's you got to get the exclusive to get the flipper hands. Pistol grip flipper hand. Oh, maybe it's just the pistol grip flipper hand. Maybe both of them come with the flipper hands, but the exclusive comes with the pistol.
Well, the real question is, does it come with a detachable arm with a soldered stump?
That would be awesome.
The Hasbro one, the Hasbro 12-inch one did.
Yep.
And the did the Black Series one have the arm? I think it may have.
Don't recall. I think it did.
I know the Wampa did.
Yeah.
It's a classic Black Series
Yeah.
one. Pinky finger. All right, so that's that. So let's talk Transformers. All right, let me pull this down. Remove that. So we are going to talk about the figure of the week, and that is the brand new Studio Series 86 Transformers Bumblebee, which is just
so much better than it has any right to be.
It's so good.
It really is. It really
Larry, take
is.
us through this. I'm going to transform mine while you talk.
Golly. Well, they've done a couple of. They've attempted to do a few Bumblebees for the Legacy and the different universe lines, and in the smaller sizes. But this, they managed to. I mean, it's Studio Series. It's movie Bumblebee, and it transforms into the Penny Racer. Deformed VW Bug. It's a fun little transformation. It's a great figure. The articulation on all these things is out of this world, so they've done, this is the third mini box. They did a Cliff Jumper. They did a different Bumblebee. They did Brawn. But this one, is a little bit smaller, but the amount of articulation they get into this, you've got pivoting ankles. You can go front and back, side to side. You've got, you do splits at the hips. You go all the way out to the side. You've got rotation on the hips. You've got fully functional knee joints. You go up to the top. You've got swivel arm battle grip. You've got hands that move around. I mean, just there's even a little bitty ball peg where you can get a little bit of up and down in the head, in addition to the side to side. And it's such a fun little figure. You can put it in so many different poses. I'm telling you, I say this at least once every week. Transformers retail line is knocking it out of the park. There were so many years that I bought no Transformers at retail except for, I bought all the Optimus Primes. I was just buying masterpieces. And then a few years ago, started picking them up again, and they've just gotten better and better. It's such a fun little figure. The perfect complement to this is the Cybertron version. So they've got Cybertron animated versions of this guy, of Wheeljack, and there was one other one. Oh gosh, there were three of them because they were from the movie, and Jazz. And so those are perfect little complements to this, but you can't go wrong with the Transformers that they're making now. Whether you're looking at the Legacy wave and you see something from Armada or from Cybertron or Studio Series 86 or the movie figures or the gamer, this freaking gamer edition figure. I mean, everything they're doing is so good. It's so high quality. It's so, yes, costs have gone up, but costs have gone up on everything. And relative to everything else that's on your retail toy shelf, it's absolutely worth the money and then some. I can't recommend their stuff highly enough.
It's funny because, when I saw it, I was like, $25 feels like like just kind of looking at it, it's like that feels like a lot for this. But then when I have it in hand and I transform it and I play around with it and I like all the different, like there's a million joints, like in just all the articulation and everything on it. It's like
when you see the engineering, where the $25 went.
Yeah, it's really
you really
impressive.
Do. You really do.
And like I know, like it's a goofy looking Beetle. It's like, that's how it looked.
That's what it looked like.
The original toy looked like.
That's what it looked like in the TV show too.
Yeah, totally. I mean, especially like that front, and it's like, I will say, like, it kind of stinks that they have like off color. So the whole
because one's the plastic and one's painted.
Yeah, one's like the black windshield, the whole around here. That's a solid black color with yellow painted on top, so it has almost like a
it would almost have been better for them to do that in yellow plastic and then paint the black parts.
Paint the black on, but I guess
I agree.
fewer paint apps or whatever if you do it this way, right? But
That's cool though.
It's
I mean, it's
really
no
sweet.
transforming McNugget toy from McDonald's back in the day, but you know, it's pretty
Hey,
cool.
it's trying real hard. You be nice.
It feels like a McNugget. Like it's just like this cool little. I mean, it's just and it rolls like you can't see it.
Oh, it
but
rolls like a champ. You can hear it.
perfectly.
Yeah.
It's not always the case with these Transformers. Like
Here
this
lately,
thing
it has been. They've been doing a really good job, man. I'm telling you. I'm so impressed with what they've been doing lately. That Transformers 1 Optimus Prime that I bought, the Studio Series, great little figure. Can't say enough good stuff about them.
Now, did you guys both get this from, I know you said retail, but did you get it from the store or did you order that?
Mine came from Big Bad. It was part of my pile of loot. I was going to pick it up in store, but I've seen the package in store, but not the Bumblebee. Someone stole the Bumblebee out of the package. So people are pieces of absolute garbage. If you are such a worthless, shiftless layabout, you got to steal a $25 figure. Dude, I hope your mom gets food poisoning and poops in her pants. And you have to clean it up because that's a piece of urine.
What did his mom? I guess his mom raised him, right?
Oh, well, she
Raised
didn't
him to
raise
be
him
that
right.
person.
She raised him wrong, and he should have to clean up her poop. I can't. There's stuff like that, man. That's just that. I mean, stealing. Come on, that's garbage. That's crap.
Horrible.
Yeah,
You don't need it that bad. If you can't afford a $25 figure, or these people, get on a rant. These people that buy something and then put the thing back in and swap it out and then go return it, dude. I hope you stub your toe and break something. I can't stand these people. I don't want to wish any real ill on them, but I mean, good Lord. Step on a Lego or something.
Yeah, I mean, like there's this joint here,
and you see how quick he did that. That's like a quick little 45-second transformation.
Yeah, but it's like it's simultaneously complex but intuitive. Like, it's really like you just do it twice, and
you're like, oh, that all makes so much sense.
And then there's a twist at the top there, and then there's a knee here. And then there's essentially an ankle rocker.
So you got a rocker and a pointer
here, right?
Oh, wow.
And then there's another one right here, right? So there's all that in the leg, and then in the arm.
Don't forget the waist swivel. Don't skip that.
Yeah, there's a waist swivel, which actually like getting some like cool, and it's not just like articulation for no reason. Like you can get into like cool poses.
Oh yeah,
like
super easy. Like
it's really cool.
Yeah, totally fun figure. And so you asked where I got it. I got mine on Amazon, and it's been like $21. So it's actually been a couple dollars off on Amazon lately. This thing's awesome.
I was just wondering if you guys have actually seen these things in retail, because man, my stores have been just so wiped out lately.
Now after I received it, I have seen it at retail since I got it. I'm very lucky. So with my job, I travel. I'm all over the Charlotte area. I go down to Rock Hill, South Carolina, and then I go to Fayetteville. So I get to pop in and out of a lot of places while I'm out there. So just about everything that's been at retail, I've gotten to see at least once, except for that Knight's End Platinum Blue Batman, which I think I'm going to have to end up spending $60 to get on eBay. But yeah, everything else has been like I saw Swoop that just dropped. Swoop is out.
It's on my list of maybes. I might get
of course I've got all the Studio 86s, but I had to pick it up. But yeah, I have seen it at retail.
That's cool.
Yeah, the Dinobots, I was like, I almost dove all in with them, but I'm still just at 2. I have Grimlock and the Triceratops. Is it Slag?
Slag.
Slag,
yeah. Slag, yeah.
And then, so Sludge, I don't have.
Sludge is so much fun. Sludge and Snarl are both fun. They're all great. I never did the Dinobots as a kid. Yeah. So to be able to have them is a whole lot of fun.
Yeah, and Snarl is the Stegosaurus, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's it. The other one.
The other mini bot that's come out, Gears. Actually, there are 3 mini bots in the stores right now because there's dying Brawn in the 2-pack there with Ratchet at Target. So you got Brawn, Bumblebee, and Gears all at retail right now. And another Studio series, since we're on yellow, you wouldn't think so to look at him. But again, it's another one. You get out, you mess with it, you play that Studio Series Bumblebee movie concept. Sunstreaker is incredible. Such a good figure. Oh yeah, so good. Nice. Very, very good.
Yeah. So if anybody's been thinking about like picking up a Transformer or two, I would start right here. This is like.
It is. And it's a low price entry point. You can get in without putting a bunch of skin in the game, but know that that's the quality that's out there. This is not a one-off. This is not special. This is typical of what you're going to find.
Yeah. All right.
Awesome.
Let's check the chat and then we'll get out of here. So I'm going to try to start publishing the podcast audio, and that's why I started it off with saying this was the podcast episode.
Cool.
215. So I want to try to get back on that and stop neglecting the audio podcast and give people some audio to listen to. All right, so let's see here.
Let me mention one other thing. It went up on Hasbro Pulse and it was gone pretty quickly. There's a Studio Series 5-pack from Revenge of the Fallen. It's the 15th anniversary. The 3RC box I don't care about, but that Prime and Jetfire that are in there that combined, those are absolutely fantastic figures. It sold out on Pulse, but it's on Amazon. It's like $100, $110, but you get like 2 big leader class figures and the little RCs. It's totally worth it. So we were talking about Studio 86, animated stuff. If you want to get a good, awesome, just unbelievably high quality Studio Series from the movie stuff, if you like the movie designs, that's on Amazon, and I would highly recommend that.
Sweet.
Sorry.
And I think that's what 8-Bit was referencing. And then Keith has Grimlock, Snarl, and Swoop. So I'm going to end up, I think I'm going to end up getting Swoop, and I'm going to end up with Grimlock, Slag, and Swoop. And
just get Sludge, and you've got every one in the movie because Snarl was only in like 1 or 2 frames. You can pretend he wasn't there.
Space. It's space. Can we discuss the ethicality of figure swapping at self-checkout to beat street dates? That's just theft. Like
yes, it's the same thing. Now, yes, Target are a bunch of monkeys rear ends for putting stuff out on the shelf before it's street dated, but play by the freaking rules, man. I mean, come on, it's not that hard to do.
Lee says the Transformers Reactivate 2-packs were great.
That's probably the one Optimus Prime that's come on reach out recently that I have not bought because visually I didn't really care for it. But if it's that good, I may have to take the plunge.
Let's see here. Did you mention Meatloaf, Larry? Somebody's talking about Meatloaf over here.
What Meatloaf?
What is that? I don't know. That's your
the greatest rock and roll singer that ever lived. That's not a joke. That's real.
Lewis.
I'll die on that hill.
A massive fan. Mickey D's changeables. Oh, nice, Lewis. You're gonna get the full set.
They were fun, man. That was back when they used to have good stuff in the Happy Meals.
Yeah, they were. Remember the Muppet Babies racer cars? Those were great.
The thing that I remember the most, it wasn't even a Happy Meal, it was Hardee's. Remember the California raisins?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You had to buy some kind of like a cinnamon stick or cinnamon muffin or whatever. And when we grew up, we never went out to eat. We didn't have extra money. So to get something like that was a huge treat. So I remember that. I must have kept those things. They're probably still in a box somewhere. I don't think I ever threw them away.
I had a little California raisins phase, probably like 87. I had like the sheets. You know how like you could get like the bedspread set with the curtains and everything, and you'd be like, it would be Star Wars or whatever. I had the California raisins one.
8-Bit Monk was talking about the Legacy United 5-pack. That's got the Cliff Jumper re-release. It's got a repainted Tarantulas, a repainted Tarn, a couple others. I want it to go on sale too because I want that. I'd love to have that Cliff Jumper, and I'm not paying secondary market prices for that thing. I'm talking about the original one.
We'll try to do a giveaway next week as well.
Okay.
Just didn't have I had COVID. So starting last Friday, I had COVID, and I'm still feeling run down, even still today.
Are you taking vitamin D, C,
Yes.
and okay? I mean, like you really got to super low D and C, and then also
I haven't been taking a lot of. I haven't been taking C. I've been taking D.
take
because I have
D3, C. What I did when I got it, I took D3, C, pounded fluids, forced myself to eat. I was over it in 2 days.
Yeah, I mean, it really was 2 days like where I really felt bad, and then the rest I've just been like tired and worn out.
Yeah,
I need
run
to
down.
like get my energy.
Just make sure you're eating, because it messes with your appetite, and a lot of times that
know I'm
rundown
not
and
eating-
that lethargy
I'm
is
not
because
eating
you're
enough.
not. Yeah, and that's it.
I
You're not
know.
eating enough calories.
It's yeah. Plus,
Like I had no appetite for those 2 days, so basically I was just forcing myself to go down to the kitchen every 2 hours, pour a cup of oats, 2 scoops of protein, blend it up, chug it down. I was just having to force myself to get calories in, and I'm convinced that helped.
That's probably slowing me down for sure.
Yeah.
Chug a bottle of NyQuil and sleep for a day. Little Commodores from Saturday Night Live. You guys remember that skit?
Yeah, but I'm wondering why
Chris.
you need COVID to chug a bottle of NyQuil. After this contest diet crap's over, I'm going to drink a case of that stuff and sleep until the following Wednesday.
I've actually this is my 4th week of no alcohol. I took 4 weeks off of no drinking. I basically like went on a little bit of a cleansed type diet most of August, like for 4 straight weeks, which I'm pretty proud of, because I tend to drink, like at least every weekend, and every time we record, I usually have a beer or two, and it's like, going. I honestly, like, that's probably a pretty big chunk of my carbs would be from beer.
Yeah.
So like,
I'm at
been pretty
11
good.
months right now. I had surgery last September, and I had to go a year with no alcohol. So I've got like 3 weeks left. So
be aware that all you're going to have to do is smell it next time, and you're going to get a buzz.
I mean, I'm not a huge drinker anyway, but yeah, it's been 11 months. So I'm ready for a tequila sunrise or something.
Yeah. I wanted to, like, what's funny is, knowing that, like, once school starts up, I can crack a beer, like, has made summer, like this last month of summer, really interesting, because it's like, generally I don't want the summer to end, but like kind of having this like goal I'm reaching towards, that's going to like, it kind of slows things down a little bit, because you're kind of waiting for this thing to happen. Yeah. So had this also like other effect on summer. So, and aside from getting smacked in the face with COVID, I mean, I've been in like awesome shape this month. Like, so it's funny.
You'll get over it. Just eat and drink, man. Eat and drink.
Larry, like, since January, I've been like really ramped up everything for my workouts. And it, like, even like 6 months in, I still had that, like, middle-aged man kind of gut, even though I'm generally a pretty skinny guy. Like, I still have this gut, and I'm like, there's no reason why I should have this gut. You know what I mean? Like, I should be shedding this gut with all the workout I'm doing. So I was like, I need to change my diet a little bit. And
yeah, it's definitely, I mean, abs are made in the kitchen. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely, they are. The other consideration is, we are at an age where our hormones have taken a nosedive. If you haven't gotten blood panels done recently, I would definitely get your blood panels done, see where your testosterone levels are. Most doctors are going to say, "Oh, if you're at 300 or 400, you're okay." You tell them to take a leap off a cliff. You need to be around 700, 800, 900, and it will change your life. Get back up to optimum levels. But there are plenty of wellness clinics that will help you with that, and you'll be shocked, because what happens is when your testosterone levels drop, the way that you store body fat changes, and that's why as guys get older, they tend to store even more. I mean, higher testosterone, you're still going to store more in your midsection, but as soon as those hormone levels drop, it becomes even more apparent. And, it took me 2 years to convince my brother to get on hormone replacement therapy. And when he finally did, he was just like, oh my Lord, he was like, I have energy. I can get out of bed. He was like he had his, so optimal, high end of optimal range is about 900, 950 nanograms per deciliter. By the time you get to our age, if you're not doing something about that, you're going to be between 300 and 600, and it's only going to get worse. When he got his tested, it was 63. Not 163, 63. Wow. I don't know how he didn't need a bullet. I really don't. Wow. So that is one thing I would advise you is to get a blood panel done and look at your testosterone, your estrogen, your free estrogen, your SHBG, or your estradiol rather, and your SHBG, and you get those things in balance, then all that stuff you're doing with nutrition and training, all the tumblers are going to fall into place, and you'll be like, oh my Lord, this is living. This is how it's supposed to be.
Yeah, and with the testosterone, a lot of times your primary care physician, like Larry says, they're just going to kind of blow it off a little bit. No. But you have them, like send you to a urologist, get a referral to a urologist, and they'll take a look and get you fixed right up.
Look, I'll tell you, I would circumvent all that. I would look at the laws in your state and find a wellness clinic. You can do telehealth visits. The guy that does mine, I know him personally. He goes to my gym, but he does my bloods. He does my scripts. He takes care of everything. We do it's concierge. I do a telemeeting with him once every 3 months. I do my blood work every quarter, and so we make sure everything's in range and everything's optimal. But yeah, if your doctor will refer you to a uro that will take care of it, great. But if your levels are 200, 300, 400 and you get the uro, I want you to try Clomid. I want you to don't ever use a topical. Don't ever use a topical. If you get one of these people that are stuck in the Stone Age, don't. I've been calling on doctors for 20 years, and I'm going to tell you, most of them don't know shit from Shinola. They know how to memorize enough to pass a test, and they know where to find the answers. So when it comes to your personal, I need my quality of life, dude, you got to take control of that. I don't get really emphatic about a whole lot of stuff, but that's something I'm absolutely, you got to grab that with both hands and just that, you got to own that. Especially with all the work you've been doing. I mean, you're killing it with your workouts and stuff.
Yeah.
Make that count, man. Make that count. Swing them to your hammer.
Cool. We'll talk a little more off the air about that.
Yeah, I'll help you. Definitely.
I want to bring up the update here from Odin. Brutal Realm just shot up.
Wow.
So they got their number in. So it was about 60,000. When I last checked earlier today, 68,000 maybe somewhere in there. So with those Big Bad Toy Store numbers, they're now at 129,000. So they have about 10,000 left to go with 7 days. They're going to blow past it. They're going to absolutely blow past it. Yeah. So I could see them getting another 50K in that by the end, because it's going to just go crazy. Now that people see it's going to get funded, people will stack on, and they'll, like, more people. It's weird. It's a weird psychological thing where, like, people just refuse to jump on until they know it's going to be funded. Yeah. It's crazy. Yeah. Cool. Okay. That's a great way to end that with some good Brutal Realm news. Our friends, they're going to be at Legions Con as well. They just found out. So we'll see them there with their prototypes and whatnot, I'm sure. And next week off. And then the following week, I think we're in the same week as the lounge now too. So earlier this week, the Legions Lounge, we started our Road to Legions Con, which seems early, but every other week it's only 6. Now it's only 5 more episodes until Legions Con of Legions Lounge. And roughly the same for this, maybe 4, maybe even 4 for this. But yeah, so we'll be back in 2 weeks. Larry, Curtis.
Enjoyed having you on, Curtis. Thank you for coming. Always Absolutely.
A pleasure. I love hanging out with you guys. So anytime you need me.
Always fun. Guys, have a great night.
Yep. Everybody, have a good night. And until next time, may the force be with you. Follow me into